Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time watching, my name is Festus Obi and I make tech related videos on how to get into tech and pretty much how to navigate your life in the tech industry, whether someone who is already working in IT industry or someone who is trying to join the market. So today we are talking about dealing with failed interviews. And over the past couple of weeks, I've tried to create a path where we go with the flow. First, we spoke about how your technical skills are not enough. You need to pick up some soft skills like people management and all that. And prior to that, we always spoke about technologies that you need to focus on learning, especially as a beginner. The last post, I spoke about how networking is the best way to go these days, especially when you want to get the job easier. So to listen more about this, click on the links on the description to watch these videos. So moving on to the topic of today, it is normal for you to want to distance yourself from that pain and that bad feeling you feel after you get the message that says, sorry, we had to go with someone else, or sorry, you're not qualified enough, or whatever it is. But this video is not about what you should do to get away from how you feel. This video is more like what you should do to raise up the chances of you avoiding that whatever is the reason why you failed that interview happens again. So pretty much to increase the possibilities of you not getting the next one as a failure. And this is something that a lot of people get wrong, and that's why you go down a spiral of applying for so many jobs and keep failing and continuing like that. So I don't know how it is where you live, but over here in Poland, interviews are pretty much structured in 2 or 3 parts, depending on the size of the company or how fast they want to go with the whole recruitment process. So I'm familiar with the ones I've gone through. They've mostly been 2 or 3. So that's either you have the technical interview and then the HR interview where you speak with someone from HR, or you have the one from the technical parts, which is probably someone from the team, a senior engineer or something, HR interview, and then the last one with the hiring manager. So this could be in any arrangement, but the one thing you should understand is the technical part focuses more on the technical skills needed for that job, whereas the HR part focuses on your future in the company, like what are your plans going further if you're recruited. And the managerial part, with the one with the hiring manager, focuses on what you bring to the team, what is the role you're going to play, what skills, what should they be expecting, basically what would you contribute to that team. So since all of these parties are involved, everyone pretty much has a say in whether you should be hired or not. And if you fail one of those, the chances of you getting hired drops by some percentage depending on which of them and which one it is. You would imagine that the technical one is more important, but you can actually be rejected because the manager thinks you wouldn't play well in a team, or you don't sound like someone who is good with working with people. I was telling a friend of mine last week that I once failed an interview because I didn't pass the HR part. Now the HR part, that's where you get asked, where do you see yourself in 5 years? What happens when you're dealing with or working with a project that has a deadline and you need to rush to meet your family for some plans? Some weird questions, simply to understand your psyche and how do you think about those particular scenarios. And as much as the technical skill is what is needed for the job, these parts are also needed because that's how the company evaluates you and your personality. So how do you deal with a failed interview? The most important thing, the one thing that ensures that you don't get a refusal the next time, is understanding why you got rejected this time. And this is something a lot of people don't really know, but there's nothing wrong with asking why you did not get the job. So sometimes you might ask and you don't get that answer, but other times someone who really cares and understands where you're coming from would be able to make that happen. One time I had an interview with a company for the role of, I think, a database administrator or something like that. I failed the interview woefully, but it wasn't even because I didn't know what to read when going in for the interview. I already met someone in the company, the person already gave me pointers. This is what you should prepare for and all of those stuff. But having the interview and failing came as a shock. So I wrote a mail to the hiring manager because I already had his email address from prior communications before that day. So due to company policy, he wasn't able to reply me regarding that particular topic on or using his corporate email address, but he was still able to reach out to me privately using my phone number, which was on the CV. And when he reached out to me, he set a meeting, we went to a cafe, he sat me down and explained the reasons why I didn't get the job and the things I needed to work on. In another case, this person made the meeting happen, didn't really tell me exactly that, explicitly that this is the reason why I was rejected, but gave me pointers on the parts I should work on. So what this does is when you're going to the next one, you already have all of this, parts that made you get a failure, the last one, on check. And when you're going there, the chances that you get rejected because of these particular things that you missed last time is eliminated. The chances that you get the job is higher because maybe that's the only thing that you lack. But if you don't ask, you would never know. A lot of people go down the spiral of applying from one job to the other to the next, and they keep going like that, and they're repeating the same mistake. And that's why you end up putting in your success story that you failed 25 times before you got the job. While that is, interesting and all that, you don't exactly need to fail 25 times. Try your possible best to understand why you failed the first, second, third, fifth, whichever stage you get to until someone is able to give you an explanation as to what made you get that rejection mail. Try as much as you can to understand that so that going further, you cut down that 37 interviews down to 2 or 3 or 4, and you get into the company and do that particular dream job you've been hoping to do. That is where we end it today. Was that long? Oh, that was about 4 minutes. So that's it for today, guys. See you next week.